Well, so yeah, I'm just really excited, Natalia, to talk about this. I think that what I've chosen today that I wanted to share with people is some breathing strengthening exercises. Basically, breathing techniques that can help strengthen our lungs, but also we're all feeling all this stress. We're feeling all this upheaval, and currently in our world, things are happening. And I just think that if we can learn to breathe correctly and properly, it really helps in a lot of different, different ways that we can actually support our body, making our lungs stronger and also breathing more with ease and helping our bodies to calm down. One thing that I noticed, Natalia, is if you're breathing deeply and you're breathing correctly, it's actually signaling your sympathetic and your parasympathetic nervous system and systems that you're safe, that you're okay. And a lot of times I think I find myself kind of trudging through the day, and I'm kind of like kind of shallow breathing,
Right.
and that starts to affect our body. Is that what you kind of also experience?
I've been experienced that majority of people do is stop kind of not stop but like slow down to the very low level, as you mentioned, the shadow breathing.
Right.
And in my experience, I actually download the application Mindfulness Bell,
Oh
and I
yeah.
set up timer personally for me for 40 minutes. That means
Right.
every 40 minutes I
Right.
hear bell. It reminds me to connect my mind to take a
Well,
deep
that's a great
breath.
idea. That's a
All right.
So that's great that you have an app that you can actually use as a reminder to help yourself to be mindful of breathing, which is really great. That's just awesome. One of the things that I was thinking about with regard to our diaphragm and our breathing is we often get really lazy in our breathing. We just get that shallowness going on, and it's just very shallow breathing, and you don't often use all of the lobes of your lungs to actually use all of that to get the oxygen into your body. And so our diaphragm actually has something, our rib cage has something called elastic recoil. Okay.
Okay.
We often take about 26,000 breaths a day. You go, oh my goodness, that's a lot
Wow.
of breathing, right? So much
That is a lot.
breathing. And so when we're breathing shallow, we really don't use that lung capacity to calm our nervous system down, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so breathing into those bottoms of those lobes and, turning on those lungs actually turns on our body's immune system, which we often don't really recognize and realize, and our immunity. It also actually helps our brain waves begin to calm. And then the body handles stress much more effectively, and it actually creates and produces neurological calm. So that's really cool.
That is the
So go
okay.
ahead.
That is a very interesting connection that you mentioned, the lung and the immune system. You
Mm-hmm.
would I would never think of that connection. Yes, breathing
Right.
and brain, yes, we all
Yeah.
know, but breathing and immune system. That's a really good thing to point right now to all of us, right?
Yes, absolutely. With what we're going on in our world, with what's
Uh-huh.
going on there. Oh my goodness. And the other thing is that I want to point out, since we're lots of times shallow breathing in the upper lobes of the lungs, we're not actually strengthening those muscles in the lungs and helping the lungs to actually thrive. And
Okay.
right now, every single one of us needs to learn how to thrive in our lungs, to create that thrive in our
Love
lungs.
it.
Yeah. So what I want to
Really
introduce to you, it's a little breathing technique. It's an Ayurvedic breathing technique, and it creates resistance in our lungs, and where we can actually get a little bit of like air hunger. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And so if you think about when you're in the hospital, if you've known anybody that's been in the hospital and had surgery or had any type of anesthesia, what they'll usually do is give you like a little plastic um, orifice or container of something,
Yeah.
and you blow into it and the little beads go up, you know, do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay, so we're going to
I do.
create that without that apparatus for everyone today. And actually, I want to actually reference the person who introduced me to this. Let me share this with you real quick, just my screen. This is, let me hope I get his name right, Dr. John Douillard. Okay.
Yep.
And I saw this, and I've been kind of studying and following him, what he does and how Ayurvedic medicine can actually help with the breathing and all of the immune responses for breathing. So I want you guys to make sure that, you know, I'm a lot of what I'm taking, I've learned from Dr. Douillard, and I wanted people to be able to go to his website and reference his great information that I've been able to study. So that's kind of what I've done with understanding what we're going to talk about today. This is my resource for that. Okay. All right. So it's an Ayurvedic technique, and from what I understand, it's called pratiloma. And it's when you you're breathing into your nose, but you have partially closed nostrils to create that resistance, okay? And then you force your diaphragm to contract. So here's how it works. You can either take this finger and this finger, or these two fingers if you want to, whatever. I just choose to take pointer finger and thumb and put those on my nostrils, and I condense and compress about maybe 3/4 of the way closed. Not all the way closed, but I just create resistance as I'm breathing. So you force yourself to breathe through your nose. Now, Natalia, I want you to just take a breath just without resistance. Let's just take a breath without and fill your lungs up. Through your nose. Here we go. Ready? Breathe in. And out. Okay, now I want you to put your fingers here, and now I want you to breathe and tell me what happens. Breathe in deeply. Exhale. How was that second breath different?
It was a resistance. It wasn't as easy as our original breath.
Right. It's very deep. Can you feel the air going deep in the lungs as you do that?
Yes. Interesting.
It fills up the whole rib cage, the whole rib, you know, everything's filled. And so that is the breathing technique. So what you do is you do this 10 times. Okay. So let's practice it just at least 5 times. Here we go. Okay. Everyone put your fingers on your nose, and not too much. Okay. About maybe half to 3/4, you're going to close off the air to coming into your nose. And then you're also going to breathe out through your nose, not through your mouth. Okay. So here we go. Number 1. Here we go. Ready? Begin. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Number 3. Breathe out. One more. Okay.
Wow.
Is that great? I
That's
love that.
really interesting.
Yes, it's so cool. So the last part of this is on your last breath. So remember, you're supposed to do 10 sets of those. We only did 5. But on the last breath, on the 10th breath, what you're going to do is this. You're going to exhale deeply and kind of put yourself in kind of an oxygen state of lack, basically, pushing all the oxygen out and holding that in the out breath for as long as you can. And what that does is it forces oxygen into the tissues as you take the breath in. It's kind of giving you a little bit of an oxygen deprivation. And then when you breathe in, it's forcing oxygen into those tissues. So I guess what Dr. Douillard says is the very best thing to do is do this 10 times. 10 times, right? So that's a lot. But he says do 10 in the morning and 10 in the evening. I thought that was interesting to kind of set yourself up for the day. And then that's you know, exercising your lungs and getting that airflow and getting your lungs used to being filled up. And I want to tell you something, that I have multiple sclerosis. I also struggle with type 2 diabetes. And oftentimes I'll get kind of this asthmatic thing going on where my lungs just feel kind of plugged a little bit. And
Mm-hmm.
so the last 3 days I've been really consistent with this exercise, morning and night, 10 reps in the morning and 10 reps at night. And I have been amazed. Usually when I breathe in like this, right now I'd go, kind of like that, because my lungs have not been exercised. And
Okay.
so it's very effective in being able to I just feel the strength in my lungs coming back. So it's kind of like when you start an exercise regimen and with your body, your muscles get kind of sore and your body takes a little bit to get used to the exercise regimen, but this is working for me. And
Wow.
so I'm using this technique to really strengthen my lungs right now. Okay, so the last piece is on the last breath. This is what you're going to do. You'll take a breath in. Let's pretend like this is breath number 10. Okay, you take a breath in. Exhale. And you'd hold that for as long as you could. So that really
Mm-hmm.
is creating that resistance. And then every 10 breaths, you're gonna exhale that way, and then deep breath in as you finish the exercise.
All
Okay.
right. That's
Yeah.
really amazing. That means you
Yeah.
simply increase your lung capacity. That means with this practice, you can go deeper and you can
Yes.
exhale longer. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And you'll notice like I can go longer for holding my breath as the
Yeah.
days move on. I can feel my
Oh,
lungs getting stronger and stronger as I move through this. I do want to point out one thing, because you know that I'm an essential oil junkie. Like I love oils. And
okay.
so one of the things that I've found with this breathing technique is I've included essential oils also to support my lungs immunity and my immune system. There's so many different oils that you can use, but today I've just picked rose, and it's one of my favorite oils. And I'll just maybe drop 1 or 2 drops here, put a little bit on my nose, the tip of my
Uh-huh.
nose right here. And then I'll close with these 2 fingers and then just simply put this up by my nose so that I'm breathing that essential oil and those aromatic compounds deep inside my lungs. And I like to, when I breathe in, I like to hold just a little bit at the top before I exhale. So I'll
Okay.
demonstrate. Here we go. So I would do this. Like that. Okay. And then if this were the last breath, I'd really get that out and try to hold it as long as I could. Does that make sense?
Very
So
cool. Yeah.
yeah, I think that the use of essential oils in this particular technique, and trying to, not only are there benefits from just the breathing, but then you can also insert additional benefits of healing and help with supporting the body's immune system and the lungs, and filling those lungs up and getting really great aromatic compounds down into the bottom of those lungs, and letting that do its work as well. That really excites me that we're able to have these tools to do that with us as well. So do you have any questions about that lovely breathing technique?
Uh, I'm really, really amazed at how what you just experienced with your experience of increasing your lung capacity and how deeply you can go along the way. And how long have you been doing this exercise, Jess?
So I heard about this about a week ago or so, but
Okay.
this very particular Ayurvedic technique, but I've been practicing deep breathing. As you know, Natalia, I have over 188 little young people that are on a caseload for me on a behavior team. I work in mental health. And quite often I'm running to crisis with these kids, right? And so I teach them, this is one of the things that we teach them in life skills, is one of their self-care practices is to breathing deep, using, some sort of a smell that's comforting to them, whatever that is. And that has greatly, like about 80%, that reduces anxiety with the kids that I see and the situations that they're in. That is the number one intervention that we actually go to when we've got kids in crisis, is teaching them how to breathe and how to calm their body, and they have the power to calm themselves down. So can you imagine in our world today how much we all need this right now?
Absolutely. That means for what would be your suggestion to all of the moms who are homeschooling their kids right now?
Mm-hmm.
And what would be your suggestion for those moms as what they can do with their kids? Well, a simple technique. Because
Yeah,
this technique, I really like it for myself, but some kids are young, they might not be interested in that really cool exercise. I would, and I would do,
right.
but what would be the simpler for the kids?
That is an excellent question, because most of the time I think we approach kids that, hey, they won't want to do this, or they feel a little bit uncomfortable about it, whatever. So this is what we do with young kids, like kindergarten, first, second, third grade. They understand the process of breathing. Believe me,
Okay.
they get really excited about it. So what we do is we have them pretend that there's a ball in their hand, and we're just going to breathe in with the ball and out with the ball, just to get them used to doing this technique.
Okay.
In, and what color is your ball? Oh, it's purple. Mine's sparkly pink. I mean, you get
So
colors,
cool.
and they just have so much fun. And it's just breathe in, breathe out. This kind of
I
a
love
thing.
it.
How big can you get your ball? Let's just do a small ball. Those kinds of things. Kids love that kind of those kinds of activities where they can use their imagination and just make it fun. You know, is it as big as the room? We're going to make our ball as big as the room right now. You know, and then they breathe in and out, and boy, it just really helps to calm those little bodies. Our body has built-in mechanisms to calm us down.
Right.
We just don't use them often enough.
I love that ball exercise. That's just really cool. That's we can create like a game for all homeschool moms and kids. Let's do ball exercise, and everybody can get in a circle or any comfortable places and simply do at least a minute. That would make a huge difference.
Yes. In fact, I suggest for moms to actually pull their little babes together. No matter what age they are. You and I have older babes that are our youngest, right? So my youngest baby is 20, and he still likes to do this, but I pull them together and have just a little family calm moment. Call it a 5-minute vacation, just a little tiny blip where you can institute some of these things that Natalia and I are going to be teaching you over the next weeks and talking about, and just pull them together and have a little 5-minute vacation. And this time it's breathing.
Nice.
Right?
Very nice.
Yeah.
It means first is to focus on breathing. That will calm the mind and create the focus. And we can use this technique anytime during the day when we need it.
Yes. Well, it turns on the immune system. Like, it turns on the immune system. And who doesn't need an increased immune system right now? We all need an increased immune system right now. So this can.
Oh my gosh, I like it so much. I always learn from you, Heidi. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is just priceless to connect breathing to increase your immune system. That means it will catch everybody.
Right. Well, I'm looking forward. We're planning on filming a few more of these, right? A few more for families and moms and busy people. And so I'm just excited to see what you come up with, what I come up with. We'll share our different strategies and interventions that we use with the people we love. And gosh, thanks, Natalia, for inviting me to do this with you.
Thank you so much, Heidi, and looking forward. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.